Previously on ImpTab Avatar, Blades in the Daofei. Following a haunting and some other just various downtime activities, the masked spirits regrouped to do some planning for their next score. There was some conversation about spirits and about, hey, we're all on the same team, right? We need to get rid of the spirit, right? And fortunately enough, Jenna arrived with some information about the Catacombs and the Apothecarial Society teaming up to investigate some strange spiritual goings-on in the Crystal Catacombs, and that the Catacombs were willing to put aside old grievances in order to bring in some more people who would be willing to help them with this investigation. Was that pretty much all that happened?
Yeah, more or less. There's a lot of us just chatting with each other.
Jenna and I flirted.
Jenna flirted. Hamster pandas were invented.
Oh, hamster pandas.
And so our scoundrels decided that they were going to take on this job, and Weiyong decided that he was going to go chat with Riven the chemist, his rival. But first, asked Day if he could befriend a spirit and hire him.
I wouldn't say befriend.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that moving forward, but at least they'll get some more information about spirits as they go and finish this job. What's going to happen down there in the Crystal Catacombs? So let's find out here in the world of Blades in the Daofei. What's shaking, everybody? You're listening to ImpTab Avatar, Blades in the Daofei, the Blaze in the Dark actual play where we make up almost everything on the spot. I'm Ned Wilcock, your host and GM, and today I'm joined by...
Thomas Ryan as Weiyong.
Christian Randall as Tonan Yoru.
Evan Peterson as Ciwei Lang.
Look at this happy family, this found family of scoundrels that have come together against all odds and...
Good friends.
Yeah, good friends. Good friends within the organization.
I don't know about your guys' real-life families, but I'm aggressive with my family. We're not happy with each other most of the time.
Well, that's why found family is so important, right? Mm-hmm. And this here found family is going to find some ghosts, apparently. So we're just going to go ahead then and pick up with Mr. Weiyong as he's heading down to the Crystal Catacombs to speak with Riven of the Catacombs. The entrance to the Catacombs lair is located in the Hound's Teeth, which is one of the areas of Ba Sing Se that we have not yet entered. The Hound's Teeth is the quarter of the lower ring that is furthest from the main entrance, and therefore is the one that gets the dregs, essentially, of everything that comes into the city. All the good stuff is taken in Lung Kao, and then Little Agnikila and Ember Alley, and it's only just the worst stuff that nobody else wanted that makes it into the Hound's Teeth, so it's a very poor district. But that is where the Catacombers have found their entrance into the Crystal Catacombs. So that's where you're headed, Weiyong.
So I know it's located there. Do I actually know where the entrance is, though? I don't think I've been to the Catacombs.
You have not been to the Catacombs, but Jen was able to give you some information on a place where you would be able to meet up with Riven. She gives you directions to a gambling hall in one of the seedier parts of the seediest part of Ba Sing Se.
Cool, I go there.
Yeah, you head on in and you look around, there's people rolling dice, there's people with mahjong tables, there's pai show tables, people playing games of all kinds, and there are some people who are jubilant and full of joy, and some people who are full of despair. Some people who are so angry at the other person for winning that they kick the table in their face and pull a knife on them. You know, this is the kind of part of town that you're in. And who's that over on the far side of the gambling hall, sitting there against the bar? You would recognize that face anywhere.
Oh, Riven, how long has it been?
Gosh, what? I can't believe I have to talk to you of all people. Frick!
That's the way it goes sometimes, old friend.
Now, we're co-workers, you know? We used to be friends back in the day when we were at Ba Sing Se University and all that junk, but I don't think we could call each other friends anymore, Weiyong.
Why not? What could have possibly happened to ruin our relationship, aside from, what you did?
Oh, and what you did?
I have never done anything wrong in my entire life, so I wouldn't know what you're talking about.
And he's just gritting his teeth, and he's like, if Crystal Zhang didn't want you guys to help out with this job, then I would not be here right now.
For what it's worth, Riven, I do miss our friendship. I know you probably aren't super pleased to see me, however, after this is all said and done, if we could meet up again and try and hash things out, I would appreciate that opportunity.
I guess we could we'll see how this goes first, okay?
Understandable. Now give me the deal. What's going on?
Yeah, there's like these freaking weird spirits down there in the catacombs, and we're trying to bring people, clandestine, like from one part of the town to another part of the town through the Crystal Catacombs. It's kind of hard to do when there's freaking big spirits down there, you know?
Ah, I see, and I understand you were trying to get the Apothecarial Society to assist you in this matter. Is that correct?
That is correct. They've got they want the spirit moss. They've got like a bit more spiritual understanding than we do, because they've been actually taking the spirit moss and modifying it for different applications. They make rage essence out of it. I'm sure you know nothing about that. It's being so uneducated as you are. Gosh, frick!
You got me there. I certainly don't know a thing about rage essence.
Yeah, so we're bringing them in because, we're not super familiar with the spirit kind of stuff, and they're at least giving us a little bit of information on the side.
Interesting. Alright, and what if you attempted to get rid of these spirits?
I tried punching one of them, and that didn't work, unfortunately.
Does seem to be your MO traditionally.
And you look over to his hands, and you see one of them has a mug in it, and he's drinking goodness knows what kind of rot gut they're serving down here. And the other one, you see the knuckles on the front of his fist are kind of singed and blistered.
Ah, I see. Handiwork from the ghost, I assume.
I mean, you wouldn't have done any better.
Well, let's find out, shall we?
Oh, okay, yeah. I want to watch you punch a ghost, man. That'll actually be really sick. I'm glad you're here now, so I can have this entertainment value.
I have to ask, do you potentially own your organization? Do you happen to own any Spirit Bane charms?
Yeah.
Have you even tried that yet?
Okay, well, no, maybe.
Tell you what, me and my boys, we'll get on it, alright? You hold tight. Where do you want to meet up to do this initial test?
And he gives you the location of the entrance into their lair.
Excellent.
What's he paying?
Oh yes, I have to ask. My compatriots do require some assistance on the financial front. What's the payout on this particular operation?
Come on, man, you don't have to be like all coy with me. We know that you're all about power, and power is money. Therefore, by the transitive property, obviously you want money. You don't have to try and hide it from me.
You did pay attention in school.
Yeah, unlike you. Frick! Okay, Crystal Zhang is offering 8 coin for this job.
8 coin. Doesn't that seem a little low to remove all of these spirits from the tunnels?
Okay. We're going to make a roll for that. What kind of roll do you want to make?
I mean, Consort's my best one, so I want to do that.
And I am being honest, it does seem low to remove spirits to aid 2 different organizations in their whole stuff.
All right, go ahead and consort.
Can I take a devil's bargain?
Oh, you don't even
This is an all devil's bargain day, boys. I didn't mention that before.
There's no warning now. It just happens.
The devil's bargain I'm going to offer you is, if you go into those catacombs where there is all kinds of weird spirits, there's going to be one spirit in particular that's going to make an appearance.
Well, it probably won't affect me, so I'm doing it. 6, baby!
All right, Riven scowls for a moment, and he turns his head away, and after a pause says, I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to Crystal Zhang for old time's sake.
I do appreciate it, Riven. I look forward to working with you on this matter. Can you give me any more information that may be pertinent to this operation?
Yeah, this seems like a good opportunity for us to roll a gather information. You choose which of your skills you think is most appropriate, and then go ahead and make that roll.
Consort, and I'd like a devil's bargain.
Oh, no.
All right.
No.
I didn't say some devil's bargains.
You're not allowed to roll anymore. Can I throw out a devil's bargain?
Yeah, you can propose one for us.
I propose that I don't know if there's any mechanical way to do this, but the pushing and the abrasiveness of your approach is going to make it more difficult to befriend him moving forward.
Yeah, the devil's bargain, I think, along those lines would be, we're going to define right here and now what exactly you two did to each other that has turned you into rivals, and it's going to be nasty.
Oh, so if I take the bargain, we have to actually hash it out?
Yeah.
Deal.
Oh boy.
I didn't say some devil's bargains. I said all of them. Another 6.
Oh, well,
Okay.
Turns out devil's bargains are great, guys. You gotta rock with these.
Okay.
I am interested to see what I did, though. I have no idea.
So Riven turns to you and he's like, okay, I'll give you the information. Even though all those years ago, You left my sister at the altar after promising her a high place in society alongside you in a minor noble family that was surely going to increase in its stature.
Is that what she told you?
Are you going to imply that that's not what actually happened, dude?
I'm not going to imply. I'm going to straight up tell you your sister is a liar.
Okay, frick, man. You better give me a good reason not to just walk out of this gambling hall right now.
Because if you go back to Crystal Zhang without a solution to this problem, I know you're going to be in some deep trouble. So you stay here, work with me, and we can sort out our issues later.
Gosh, frick, okay.
Now please, assist me in this matter. What else do I need to know?
Alright, so the initial reason why we teamed up with the Apothecarial Society is because there's a lot of spirit moss that started growing down there in the Crystal Catacombs. And you know, it makes sense. It's a dark place, it's really damp, there's a lot of like ancient abandoned stuff down there, and we don't even still know all the stuff that's down there in the Crystal Catacombs. Like, it's the old Bossing Say, the Bossing Say that used to exist before the Great Walled City was built on top of it. There's stuff down there that would probably rot the very brain out through your nose if you saw it. I mean, I'm just like making an assumption here. It's possible. You know, there's spirits down there doing all kinds of weird stuff, so who knows? Now, the spirit moss has been starting to grow. That's why we teamed up with the Apothecarial Society. They're taking the spirit moss from us for a small fee, etc., etc. But then, turns out, if you see spirit moss, you're going to see spirits as well. And there's this particular part of the Crystal Catacombs where they've been especially nasty, especially virulent. It's actually kind of on the other side of town near Lung Kao, is where we're seeing the most of that activity happening.
How interesting. All right, I think we can assist you on this matter. Does your organization have any resources in order to simplify this project for us?
Yeah, let me take a gander at some of the potential stuff that maybe the Apothecarial Society has got for us.
If they just have a gigantic crate full of Spirit Bane charms, I think that might be real cool.
Okay, lay up on the Spirit Bane charms, man.
I'm just saying, they work. I've seen it happen.
Okay, yes, the Apothecarial Society is going to get us some Spirit Bane charms, but we have to remember that not all spirits are repelled by Spirit Bane charms.
Yes, I understand that. They covered that back in finishing school.
Finishing school, you say?
So that's a thing, right?
It is now. This is improv, baby.
Just got improv'd. Hold up.
Alright, here's a few things that the Apothecarial Society has said that they'll be able to help us out with. We can get 1 potion of ghost oil. And this is a colorless fluid that causes affected material to slip into the ghost field. Very dangerous when applied to living beings.
How interesting.
They can also get you a ghost scourge, which is a plasmically charged chain connected to a spirit bottle to entangle a spirit and draw it into the bottle.
We can capture a spirit?
Don't cross the streams.
Dude, if I level up, I can get an ability that says I can capture spirits.
Ooh.
And 1 sight potion, which gives the user the ability to see the invisible and sense danger before it happens. Lasts several hours.
Hot dog.
Oh boy, you need that sight potion. That would be great for you.
These are awesome.
Yeah, you rolled really well on your gather information roll.
Devil's bargains, baby. Take them.
I don't know. I think wrapping up a spirit with a chain is skirmishing, so that one might be good for me to take.
That's what I was thinking. I think you should get the spirit chain. You should get the sight thing. And I'll get the
Ghost oil?
ghost oil. Not really sure.
Drink it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you should use that. It says very dangerous when used.
When applied to living beings.
He should definitely drink it.
Well, I think it would be interesting for my character to have a possible entry into the spirit world.
Well, I mean, if we get that bottle, we have a direct way to sort out your ghost problem.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had arranged my XP differently and I could have Ghost Fighter right now so that I can grapple spirits. But I did not, so here we are.
How close are you to leveling up?
Oh, I'm pretty far because I was putting it into prowess instead of playbook.
Oh, never mind. I was going to say all we need to do is get you to do a few desperate rolls and you could level up.
Wait, when you do a desperate roll, can you put it into the playbook track? I thought you could only put it in the whatever you rolled track.
That is correct.
Oh, you're right. The desperate ones go into whatever it is.
Oh, so I need to make a couple desperate prowess rolls.
You just need to get real desperate, like when we're fighting ghosts or something.
I like our goal is to be as desperate as possible constantly.
I'm trying to help. I'm doing as many devil's bargains as I can.
Well, you know, it's a balance because sure, you get XP for making a desperate roll. Also, you might take severe harm, even if you get a partial success.
Might.
So stressed.
Not every time.
All right, so yes, those are the items that the Apothecarial Society is willing to loan you for your spelunking journey into the catacombs.
All right.
Riven, this is quite the information you've given me. I do have one last question.
Frick, what do you want to talk about?
Listen, Riven, I'm trying to help you here. I understand you're worked up, but holy cow, man. Listen, I just need to know, when are these spirits most active?
Midnight.
Of course, it's always midnight with ghosts. Alright,
Nice.
great. Riven, you may not have enjoyed this, but I have actually had a heck of a good time. I hope we do get together again to sort this out.
Okay, fine.
Is he's still holding that mug, right?
Yeah.
Is there something weird in it?
Make
I want to know what he's drinking. Future reference.
Oh, future reference. Okay, yeah. I think we're not even gonna make you roll for that then. He's just drinking the strongest but cheapest sake he could possibly get here.
Hot dog. I can work with that. Cool. I'm out of there.
All right. So that has been our first gather information. You bring that back to the rest of the boys, presumably.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to repeat it all. You guys were there in spirit.
Wow, that's a lot of great information.
Thank you. I'm very good at rapidly relaying information.
Since this job's a little less heisty and we're trying to use flashbacks more, I think we should just jump into it.
That's sort of what I was thinking too.
We already decided who was going to take each piece of gear.
Wait, I want my bucket of Spirit Bane charms.
So, yeah, the Apothecarial Society is going to provide members of the Catacombs with Spirit Bane charms, and the three of you each have your own Spirit Bane charms already, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I each time I leave the house, I'm going to reach up and take mine off that nail. And
Yeah.
All right. So first thing we need to do then is figure out what kind of score this is going to be. Assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, or transport.
It's either assault or occult, right?
yeah, like those occult feels like all it really can be.
Assault, occult.
It's explicitly a cult. We're trying to get rid of ghosts.
Well, by punching them.
Occult says engage a supernatural power. Assault says do violence to a target.
Yeah.
I'd say occult then.
Yeah.
All right. What we need then for occult is the arcane method. That is our detail.
Big old bucket of Spirit Bane charms.
I'm
A
gonna
chain with a bottle.
I'm going into this one heavy because I would like to take in a set of transportable singing bowls, and that will be our entrance.
We're all going in heavy because we don't care if people. We're going in like the Ghostbusters.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm going in light.
Okay.
Weirdo. I'm going in heavy.
Oh, I'm going in heavy.
I always go in light. I'm not doing anything else.
But yeah, could that be an option, Ned? If I bring in a set of singing bowls, my personal ones, not a massive one, but personal ones, and use that to sort of wake up the spirits and get things going.
Are you going to call this arcane implements, perhaps?
That's what I was going to call it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that fits.
Okay.
And then does my chain with the bottle hold more than one spirit, or does it just hold one at a time?
Let's see, to entangle a spirit and draw it into the bottle.
Oof.
Well, hopefully there's just one down there.
I mean, and we also kind of just need to figure out why the spirits are doing this and solve that issue and get rid of them that way. I mean, we can try punching them, but the most effective way is going to be finding out what they need and getting that for them.
Fair enough.
Yeah, one thing that now that we're talking about these different arcane sort of implements, there is a crafting system in Blades in the Dark, wherein if you have the Tinker skill, you can create stuff like potentially a Ghost Scourge or a Sight Potion.
I do have the Tinker skill.
How interesting.
Yeah, the way that it works is you spend one downtime activity to make a Tinker roll to determine the quality level of the item you produce. You roll 1 die per action dot you have in Tinker, and then you increase the quality by 1 per coin you spend, or if you have the Workshop Crew upgrade.
Oh, okay.
So that's something you can keep in mind, is if you want to start building these weird, crazy things, that is an option that's available to you.
Well, now that you've seen one, you shouldn't have too hard of a time making one.
Okay, so we're going to do a cult. We're going to try and wake up the spirits with some singing bowls.
All right. So let's start figuring out how many dice we're going to roll for the engagement roll. We start with 1 die for sheer luck. Next, is this operation particularly bold or daring?
I mean, I feel pretty bold. I've never fought a ghost before.
I feel daring because I'm already scared of ghosts.
That works for me.
I feel like at some point we're going to have to answer that question no.
When we take an easy job.
When you increase in tier to the point where, like, you're the people hiring other people to do stuff for you.
Yeah.
Next, is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors?
Not really.
Nope. We're just going to go in and get the ghosts out.
We don't have a plan, therefore it can't be complex.
Yeah.
There we go. Next, does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
We don't know where they're weakest.
I happen to know how to use these singing bowls in a way to affect spirits. So I could say, I don't know about vulnerable, I'll let you make that call. You would know more about the world than I do.
Does it expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? I think there is a vulnerability in that the singing bowls, if used properly, can affect the spirits.
Okay.
Which actually, I just remembered. We had some conversations on the Patreon Discord about how we never actually described what a singing bowl is.
Oh, yeah.
Just for the sake of those who aren't familiar with these weird hippie singing bowls like we all are, essentially it is a metal bowl that when you strike it or when you run a mallet around the lip of the bowl, it creates a tone. And they're used for meditation purposes, chakra work, that kind of stuff.
And communing with the spirit world, apparently.
Yeah, if you happen to live in the Avatarverse. Next, is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparations? We're probably going to say no on this one. So currently we're at +3.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Next, can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation?
You already did.
Yep, good old Riven the Chemist, your best friend from finishing school.
And Sawtooth at the Apothecarial Society. They made all this stuff.
And Jenna got us all the hookup.
So we're at +4. Next, are any enemies or rivals interfering in the operation?
Is Riven going to try and screw me over?
Yeah, not that we know of.
That's the only real question now.
Make a fortune roll.
Yeah.
2 dice?
No devil's bargains on the fortune roll.
No devil's yeah, that is actually something I looked up. Devil's bargains are specifically for rolls that use your action dots.
Okay.
Okay, fine. You got me this time.
Make a fortune roll with 1 die.
Reasonable. 3.
3.
That's a failure.
Yeah. Are any of your enemies or rivals interfering in the operation? Yeah, we'll give you -1 die for that.
Oh,
Hot
no.
dog!
Oh, we just don't know how.
So we're at +3. Are there any other elements you want to consider? Tier, location, etc.? I think there is a great deal of just the unknown of the fact that you're fighting against spirits.
Yeah, this is kind of our first foray against spirits directly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to give you -1 die for that, bringing us to +2.
Better than last time.
It is better than last time.
So, Evan, I don't think you've rolled the engagement roll yet, have you?
I think Christian's rolled our other 2.
Oh, that's right, because I wanted to torture him.
Yeah.
Devil's bargain, the engagement roll.
It doesn't use an action dot.
Yeah, no devil's bargain on the engagement roll.
I want to bargain with the devil.
2.
Woo!
With 2 dice.
Double 2s.
Wait, no, you've read that wrong. Look at it again.
Snake with glasses eyes.
Nope. It
Turn-
can't be right.
It's upside down. If you turn the dice upside down, it should say a 5.
Yeah.
You're in a desperate position when the action starts. So yeah, you're down there and you've trudged through the Crystal Catacombs. You met Crystal Zhang and he was very busy, just kind of like, oh yes, you're here. Go take care of my ghost problem. And so you headed through the Crystal Catacombs, and I mean, like, as strange and eerie as this place is, there is a weird beauty to it, lit as it is with these luminescent crystals and whatnot, seeing the ancient architecture of Old Bossing Say, and you eventually travel pretty much all the way across town to the section of the catacombs that are underneath the Lung Cow district. Tonan, you set up your singing bowls, and turns out they are very effective at summoning spirits because, like, as soon as you started getting all of the harmonies to converge and whatnot, just in the air, right behind you, both of your friends see, as you're sitting here ringing your bowls, this green wisp, this sickly yellowish green wisp, beginning to coalesce into a form. And Weiyong and Ciwei, you also start to get a sense of what's going on here, that same kind of terror that originally gripped Tonan's heart, as you see a body that actually is surprisingly familiar, that of an aged woman wearing the robes of an earth sage, but where the head should be, a big ol' eye above a mouth full of too many teeth.
At least it's not a cabbage head.
It's not a cabbage, but Neliao the gardener appears behind Tonan, and Tonan, you become aware of her presence as you hear from behind, with words that tingle all the way up your spine, just the word, Yoru!
I'm just gripping my spirit pain charm.
Okay, that's upsetting.
Yep, you're in a desperate position. What do you guys want to do?
I have a flashback if we want to.
Yeah, I'm desperately trying to think of what we could have done beforehand to prep for this.
I've been planting some seeds, baby. You hold on tight. Before we went out on our adventure, I went and I sat down with Dave for a little while, and I just tell me everything you know about spirits. What do I need to know to be able to handle these monsters out there? And hopefully he told me some good stuff.
All right, yeah, I'm going to make a fortune roll for Day.
Because Day is a very spiritual man. Ned and I have been talking about this privately for a while now. Like, he's the earthbending Iroh, in a sense.
So I'm going to make a fortune roll with your tier as a crew, which is 0.
Can I devil's bargain?
No, you can't.
It was worth a try. I'm desperate. I know it doesn't count. I just have to ask.
All right, that is a 2.
Hot dog.
So we're not going to make you take any stress for that because it wasn't a complex action. But Coinworth, as you're speaking to him, is like, these new spirits from beyond the grave, they're not like any spirits I've encountered before. I don't know what to do against them. So, yeah, unfortunately, you got just this big ol' angry spirit. And as you become aware of its presence, I need everybody to make a resistance roll with resolve.
But we get one more die because we have a +1 to resistance rolls.
Yep, forged in the flames.
Can I take a devil's bargain? Those use action dots. That counts.
It does.
Oh, man.
The devil's bargain is that Neliao's going to target you first.
Deal.
All right.
In a heartbeat. Yeah. Holy cow, I can handle it.
Okay.
I'm rolling 4 dice right now.
Double 6s.
Critical success.
Critical, yeah.
Hey, I got double 5s.
1-6.
Okay, so yeah, it turns out that getting the Forged in Fire crew ability was very smart because now that you've opened up the spirit bottle, spirits are going to be happening quite a bit more.
I would not have critted if it wasn't for us taking that, so I'm very grateful.
Yeah, so Neliao the Gardener sees Tonan and just immediately starts contemplating what the best situation is going to be, looks over at Weiyong and rushes you and is going to attempt to possess you.
Can I whip out my Spirit Bane charm and hope for the best?
You can. I'm going to tell you right now, she doesn't seem to care about your Spirit Bane charm. She appears to be a bit more powerful of a spirit.
Not going to do that then.
Can I try and capture her with the chain?
Oh, I guess that might work. I had a different idea, but that sounds way better than mine.
I'll try and whip it out in front of him and hope that I can get enough momentum to wrap it around her.
All right, yeah. So what would you like to roll for that?
I guess skirmish, probably.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me. You go ahead and make that skirmish roll, and I'm going to create for us an 8 clock called Capture the Ghost.
Can I assist his skirmish roll?
How would you propose to do that?
I want to be the tastiest looking bait that goat's ever seen. That ghost, not the goat. The tastiest looking bait that old goat's ever seen.
Yeah, you're like, oh, sorry, ghost, not goat. And Tonan's like, no, that dirty old goat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at her and just, oh yeah, you think you can capture me? I'm far too powerful for you.
All right, so yeah, you are goading the goat, as it were.
I take a stress for that, right?
Yes, you take 1 stress to give Ciwei a 1 additional die.
5.
5. All right. So this roll, I think we can put that probably at desperate, actually, because Neliao is a powerful spirit rushing against your friend. Desperate, but with standard effect, I would say, because you even have the Ghost Scourge to attack her in the first place. So you do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer harm, a serious complication occurs, you have reduced effect. Initially, while we're just establishing things, I'm just going to start with reduced effect. So that brings it down from standard to limited and ticks off 1 tick on the 8 clock.
Okay.
But you do get to mark 1 in prowess for that desperate roll. And so now you've got the chain wrapped around her ankle. And it's really interesting seeing this translucent form that you can see through to the other side of the catacombs. The way that the chain does wrap around it and actually interacts with this kind of intangible force is kind of weird and unsettling in a way, but you at least have begun the process of capturing this ghost, and you can feel that jar that's attached to the other end start to kind of hum and vibrate.
Okay. And then whenever I have enough time, because I know other stuff will probably happen first, I'd like to add 1 item to my load, which is a blade or 2. And I would like to try and stake the chain into the ground with the blade so I have my hands free, but it's secured.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think that'll be simple enough that we probably don't need to have you roll for that one.
Okay.
So she's bound up right now and slowly being sucked into the bottle.
Slowly, yes.
Very slowly.
Are there any other spirits that were summoned, or is it just her?
Just her for now, but additional complications, who knows? We'll see.
Love it.
As the singing bowls, I've struck them in the patterns that I've been trained. I've got them ringing, and as they begin to die down, I pull out the mask that I only wear in our hideout, and I slip it onto my face, and I pull out an unusual weapon. It is the Yoru family blade. It is similar in shape and design to a katana, but the hilt and middle of the blade are hollow. And I'm going to take that oil I got and dump it into the handle so the blade fills up with it.
And you see the blade begin to kind of flicker in and out of your vision almost until it gains that kind of same ethereal quality, that same translucence as Neliao's spirit.
And I am going to approach her.
All right. As you begin approaching Weiyong and Ciwei, you see Neliao turn to face this new opponent. And as that eye sees the mask, the bone-white face with the two dark spots around the eyes and the red lips, you see the pupil contracts so tightly that it's almost just a solid greenish curtain in the center of the eye. The pupil almost completely disappeared, and a shriek pierces through the entire cave that you're in, and you see the veins of the eye beginning to bulge and kind of split away like tentacles from the eye. At the sound of this shriek, I need everybody to make a resistance roll with resolve.
Okay, so I still get those 3 dice.
Do you know what I'm going to ask, Ned?
Would you like a devil's bargain?
Oh, I'd love one, Daddy-o.
Oh man, we have to stop doing these AoE effects. It's gonna, he's gonna.
The devil's bargain I'm going to offer you is, just as Neliao is grappled by the chain, you would become grappled by one of the veins.
Deal.
I'm gonna push myself.
All right.
Or take a devil's bargain.
No, you've taken enough for all of us.
The devil's bargain, boy.
I don't want you both wrapped up in veins.
Okay, I can hear the devil's bargain without accepting it, correct?
Correct.
I will hear your devil's bargain for me, Ned.
I'll hear your bargain, devil.
All right. The devil's bargain that I would offer to you is we would just bump that shaken from level 1 harm back up to level 2 harm.
Just take the stress.
I'm gonna just take the stress because I rolled really poorly. I need to do this.
I rolled a 6.
I rolled a 6 as well.
I rolled a 5 that time.
All right.
I rolled a 1, 2, 3, and a 5.
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm assuming since it's only a partial success, something bad still happens to me anyway.
So on a resistance roll, it's not a matter of partial or full successes. It's just the number you get reduces the amount of stress that you take.
So I only take 1 stress.
Yeah. But you paid 2 stress to push yourself, so you take 3 stress.
I'm at 3 stress. In that case, I would like to brandish the sword in front of me. You profaned our order in life. At least have the decency to die. And I'm gonna try and stab her.
All right, what do you want to roll with?
Okay, I would probably want to roll with skirmish, but could I sway her to die?
You're real convincing about her dying, man.
Could I interest you in our complete death package? No more hanging around as a spirit. You can die for real.
No, I'll do skirmish. That's the only logical thing.
Yeah, we're not going to let you just cyberbully Neliao. I will say, because you have used your unusual weapon, this special sword, and you have taken up that entire use of the ghost oil, will give you increased effect for this attack.
Okay. I would like to establish that I will not be using skirmish, and instead I will be using finesse with this weapon. This is more of not about how hard you strike, but about how accurately and quickly.
And you've got the same dice for both of them, so it works
Yeah, it's
out.
both 1 die anyway, so. And you're still being a little incredibly kind with us and letting us perhaps take double bargains and pushing ourselves after the roll, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like that's gonna change.
Do the devil's bargain.
Hey Ned, what kind of bargain would you offer?
The bargain I would offer you, one of those veins would also go flailing out towards you, and in making contact with you would allow you to be seen by something else that is not currently here.
Yes.
What are you wrapped up in, man?
Apparently eyeball tentacles.
Are you kidding me? There's another demon after you?
Look, We all have our demons in our past.
Yeah, it's usually just like jilted lovers. It's not.
Yeah, like you, Weiyong.
Yeah, it's like me.
I rolled a 3 and a 4, so I will take that partial success.
All right. Partial success is going to tick off 2 more on the Capture the Ghost 8 clock. You're currently at 3 out of 8, and you feel that tentacle come out towards you, like as you strike in with the blade, this one vein just touches you right in the center of the forehead of the mask and passes through the mask until it contacts your skin itself, and your eyes completely lose vision of what you see in front of you at the moment, and they are filled instead with the image of only one single eye. Very similar to the eyes that you've seen atop the spirits you've encountered so far, but massive, more all-encompassing, surrounded by this thick green goop. And you see, encased in the goop around it, a series of human teeth.
I would like to do a flashback.
All right.
And this will be difficult, Ned.
Yes.
And I'm kind of dropping some bombs here, so bear with me. As I appear and I see the eye, a smile curls on my lip because this is all going to plan. As soon as I heard that we were going to be going into this sort of situation, I had that interaction with the first eyeball guy. I went into my little soundproof room and I pulled out my little singing bowls and I lit some incense. I got myself ready. I made sure it was completely dark, save for the slight ember glow of the incense. And then I began to ring the bowls and reach out specifically to one spirit for advice, my master.
Yes.
And
I swear, man.
his knowledge of the spirit realm, I'm specifically just saying, in this moment, I'm trying to have a conversation with him where he would want me to get in close with this person who is at odds with what he wants. So I'm reaching out now and I'm ringing the bowls and seeing what is asked of me.
Yes, so you have all of your bowls arranged in that particular order, one representing each of the planets here in your solar system. And as they all ring, their harmonies converging with each other, you hear a voice emanating throughout the room from a source that you cannot see, one that you cannot reach, but that still you have created the conditions by which you might be able to commune with it. And the voice tells you to be watchful, that there is an old rival, one that your master had thought had been taken care of, had disappeared off of its radar, but was now sensing spiritual energies coming from Ba Sing Se, from near you, and asking you to seek out the source.
Okay. I'm not sure how much stress I'm going to take from that flashback, but I would like to mechanically, if I can, I don't know how this works yet all the way, but adjust my position, I guess, rather than being in a desperate, now I'm kind of where I want to be.
Yeah, so that will come when we make the particular roll. You can look at the position versus the effect and adjust from there. Mm-hmm. In terms of the cost of this flashback, 2+ stress is required for an elaborate action that involves special opportunities or contingencies. And this required some very special opportunities and some very special contingencies. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make a fortune roll to see whether you take 3 stress or 4 stress for this flashback.
Jeez.
You take 3 stress.
Okay. Well, you guys don't see it under my mask, but in that moment, the vein touches my forehead, and you don't see it, but there is a smile.
And Tonan, you don't see it, but you feel it from across the barrier to the spiritual plane. Another being smiles.
Are you working with space demons, man? I think I gotta know.
Space demons?
Legally, I think you gotta tell us if you're working with space demons.
Are you a space demon? You have to tell me legally.
Hey, Ned.
Yes.
If I try and hit this spirit with the club, what would be my effect and position?
Yeah, so typically it would be risky standard, but since you're attacking an incorporeal being with a physical standard object, it would be reduced effect, bringing it to risky limited.
I'd like to flashback.
Oh yeah, now we're using
Now we're going hard with the flashbacks.
We get the idea now, and we need a lot of help for this one. I would like to have taken time during the day before we came here at night to have visited a spiritualist, if I could find one, an expert in the occult. And I would like to see if they can somehow maybe bless or apply some sort of oil or salve to my weapon. And if I can propose the mechanical benefit it would bring my effect with any skirmish rolls made with the weapon back up 1 level against spirits.
I like that. I think that's going to be a 1 stress flashback.
Okay.
And we'll need to have you roll something, I think.
Okay.
What kind of route are you going to take to try and get this spiritualist to give you this resource? I'll say if you want to, you could spend 1 coin and instantly have it succeed, or you could try and roll for something else.
I'm going to show up in my broken wolf mask since word has gotten around about us a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to just like sneak in, kind of come up before the spiritualist and just say, oh, I don't talk with the wolf mask. Oh, but I am this time. I'm going to talk with the wolf mask, but I'm going to try and change my voice a little bit. Now I have to try and do a Ciwei voice trying to do a different voice, and I'm a bad voice actor. I have a job tonight and need your help. And I place the club down. I need this to hurt a spirit.
All right. Sounds to me like you're commanding, perhaps?
That's the goal, to kind of try and intimidate a little bit, because, like, I don't know, word started to get around about the mass spirits. And so if the wolf spirit's showing up is saying, like, I'm not going to hurt you, but I need you to do this for me, I think there's a little bit of, like, you're going to help me here.
All right. Go ahead and make that roll.
Ooh, boy. Ned, what would the devil's bargain be on that one?
Yes!
Oh boy, we are in it, aren't we?
The devil's bargain would be that, yes, you convinced this person to help you, but depending on how well you roll, you might also take stress in response for any stress that you deal to the ghost.
Ooh, I like that. I'll take it.
That truly is a devil's bargain.
That goes from a 1 to a 5.
Nice.
Ooh, partial success.
So worth it, I'd say.
Yeah, risky standard. You do it, but there's a consequence. You suffer harm. A complication occurs. You have reduced effect. You end up in a desperate position. I think we're going to have you take 2 stress in order to deal 2 additional stress to Neliao. You are now 5 out of 8 ticks on the 8 clock.
So yeah, so seeing that these veins are whipping around to my friends, one hits my friend in the forehead, one wraps my other friend up, I'm going to take a big step forward and baseball swing my club right into the, like, eye, just like right into the pupil.
Very nice.
And feel the spiritual shock go back up my arms.
Yeah, there is an electric crackling almost as you make contact, and Neliao's spirit goes flying back through the air several feet, but you feel that discharge of energy jolt up your arms into your heart almost. And yeah, it wasn't very pleasant.
So I'm still wrapped up in this lady's eye veins.
Correct.
I would like to take this opportunity to study her up close. Like, I'm wrapped up, I assume I'm nearby her because I'm wrapped in her eye veins. I would like to study her. I want to see if I can find some, like, secret button I can push to eliminate this ghost, or just learn more about how ghosts operate in the process.
Yeah, trying to find a weakness, some kind of information you can leverage to your advantage.
Exactly. I'd like to calculate my best options.
All right, you don't say.
Yeah.
Since you are so close into Nelio, actually, we can make that controlled, I think. Controlled standard.
Very nice. I'd also like a devil's bargain.
Oh,
All right.
Of course you would. Of course you would. We need to end this episode so he stops taking Devil's Bargain.
The devil's bargain I'm going to offer you is, as you study this ghost and learn something about it, the ghost is going to learn something about you.
We're going to kill the
and
ghost.
transmit that information back to the same being that saw Tonan.
Yeah, don't interrupt the DM, man. You were
Big Daddy himself?
Big Daddy himself.
Yikes. Well, I'm doing it.
All right.
No hesitation.
It'll be fine. You can make 100 characters.
Yeah.
With 3 dice, I rolled a 1, a 2, and a 3.
Yay.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Okay. Failure on a controlled roll. You can press on by seizing a risky opportunity, re-rolling at risky, or withdraw and try a different approach.
If I re-roll, do I keep the previous Devil's Bargain, or do I need to take another one?
We'll keep the previous one.
Okay, I'm going to re-roll then. Triple 1.
No.
Wow.
That's a turbo critical failure.
No.
Things go badly. You suffer harm, a complication occurs, you end up in a desperate position, you lose this opportunity. Man.
That literally could not have gone worse.
That is so bad.
So we already know that there's a being out there, a big ol' eyeball covered in green goop full of teeth that knows Weiyong's secret. The big secret.
Wait, like the big secret?
The big secret.
The teeth being knows it. The teeth being knows you.
Oh, I can use this. I could totally use this. Oh boy, okay.
Yeah, so the teeth being knows the big secret about Weiyong, and also you are going to take level 2 harm, laceration.
Laceration?
As you pull in closer to study the being studies you back, and as this transmission of information happens, the veins wrap tighter around your leg and begin to shift, almost like an Indian burn, except a little bit sharper.
So the being can see me?
Yes.
Or like knows about me, or...
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both? Does that mean that since he's in my head, in a sense, I could communicate with the being?
Make a fortune roll.
How many dice for that one?
What skill do you think you would have that be?
I'm trying to communicate with a being, and I'm not gonna lie. I would like to consort with it.
Okay, roll with consort.
No.
Critical success.
2
Wow.
6s?
2 6s. I didn't even Devil's Bargain that. Oh, I have to take Devil's Bargains for all of them, though.
It's a fortune roll.
Oh, that's right. Okay, well, it's a critical success.
What do you want to say to this big old glowing eye?
I've got so many ideas right now. Tell me where you are. I would like to meet.
That's it. That's all I'm going to say. I would like to meet.
And the message that you get in response is, speak to Brother Hotaru.
Cool. Cool.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
Oh, it totally does. I know who this guy is. I know who, like, Weiyong doesn't. Thomas knows who this guy is, and I'm very much looking forward to chatting.
Yeah, this is, once again, a recommendation. If you haven't read the Kiyoshi novels yet, might be a good time to read the Kiyoshi novels.
Yeah, seriously, read the Kiyoshi novels. This is a key figure.
Am I still seeing stuff, or when she got blasted back by the baseball swing, did it disconnect my forehead?
Yeah, all weird, like, spiritual communion stuff has ceased. We're now just back in the middle of a skirmish with a ghost.
As you do.
I would like to hand my sword to Ciwei. Ciwei, I can't get too close. Cut Weiyong out. He's in danger.
And I'll give you the nod.
And I would like to step back, take my mallet, and just start ringing the singing bowls hard.
Just like discordant, just like smacking.
I mean, in a pattern that it's almost hard to make singing bowls sound bad, but in a way that almost does.
All right. So, as we have this discordant melody filling the air, a family heirloom sword spiraling through the air towards Ciwei's hand, Weiyong's mind off in a place separate from where his body is. I think that's where we're going to pick up next time.
Yeah, it is.
Hot diggity dog. This is going great.
Man, yeah, there's a lot of the tendrils of the web have started to come out and start weaving quicker than I was expecting them to. So I hope it's not like too much for people to be taking in, because I know there's a lot of confusing stuff going on right now, but I promise it will all start to make sense, and it will make more sense if you read the Kiyoshi novels.
Highly recommend them, even outside of listening to this podcast. They're just good books.
Oh, man.
I've had a goal that whenever bad stuff happens, I want to try and turn it into something good for me, and I think that meeting this mysterious spirit is going to be that good.
Maybe.
I feel like I'm trying to hold back a dam, and there's too many cracks now, and now I'm just standing in front of a wall of water, and I'm like, well, this is going to happen.
Just be a waterbender.
Oh, yeah.
What's wrong with you? Just bend water, you idiot.
Just get good.
Yeah, and you know, if any of you, if something happens to these particular characters that makes them unable to continue to be alive, maybe, we have backup characters, you know?
I do have my backup.
He's talking about Weiyong. Weiyong has a very slim odds of survival if he meets that spirit.
Well, we'll just have to see how this fight finishes up. But for now, thanks so much, everybody, for listening to Imp Tab Avatar, and we'll be back next time with more adventures in the world of Blades in the Daofei. If you want more, go ahead and subscribe, maybe even give us a review. We would be as happy as a giant eye who is getting a lot of cool information if you go ahead and give us a review on the podcatcher of your choice. We're also all over social media at Improv Tabletop, so if you'd like to connect with us there, maybe you want to talk with Evan about how nice it is to not have to worry about crazy spirit stuff and just focus on making money and owning a pet shop. Don't be afraid to reach out to us. Now it's time to shout out our next batch of Sticker Club patrons. The first person we're shouting out today is Thomas Ryan.
Woo! The hottest member of the Sticker Club.
Yeah, Thomas Ryan is he's just a great guy,
He is the devil. That's what he is. All the bargains are made with Thomas Ryan.
Yeah, he's just making bargains with himself, essentially.
Sat in my corner talking to myself this whole time.
Yeah, Thomas Ryan is literally the devil of the Avatarverse. We'll decide.
I'm wearing a red shirt right now, too. Full devil.
I love it.
Next person we're shouting out is Stuttering GM. Stuttering GM is the maker of those Spirit Bane charms, and it was kind of a lean time. People are interested in Spirit Bane charms because there's an increase in spiritual activity, but it was kind of going through a bit of a lull. Stuttering GM was like, man, I could really use a nice windfall to make it through the weekend, and then boom, in comes the Catacombs, buys a whole crate full of Spirit Bane charms, and Stuttering GM is moving to the middle ring. Look at that.
Hey, nice.
Ooh, moving on up.
And the final person we're shouting out today is Adrian Garneau. Adrian drank some of that ghost oil just to see what would happen. Did it on a dare from some friends. And nobody's seen Adrian Garneau since then. But, that probably means that Adrian's just chilling in the spirit world with Iroh right now,
Sipping on tea.
Sipping on tea with a big old spirit that looks like a beet? Turnip? I can't remember what it looked like. It was some kind of weird spirit. In any case, that does it for this week's batch, and we'll have more Sticker Club patrons to shout out next week. And if you want to join their ranks, consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/improvtabletop, where you can also get bonus episodes, Discord access, biannual sticker packs, and more. Now, let's do a round of plugs. Evan, would you like to take that this time around?
Yes, sir. Starting off, if you would like more of us, maybe doing something outside of the Avatar universe, the plus side to that is if we get sued into oblivion someday, that stuff will still exist. We have our fake campaigns, although a good number of those also use popular IPs like Lego and...
Transformers will never sue us, dude. Don't worry.
It should all survive fair use, but we do have our Fate campaigns using the game system. Fate Accelerated, they're a lot of fun. They're some of my favorite stuff we've done. They get very weird, very fast, all of them. A good number of them would not have been sustainable for any more than 4 episodes, and that's what makes them so great. They burn short, but they burn bright.
That they do.
If you're like, man, I'm loving this, but I do like the Avatarverse, and I want to get it before they get sued, go listen to 10,000 Things. It takes place just before Aang during the 100-Year War. A lot of fun, a lot less scoundrelly, a lot more good guy doing good guy things if you're into that sort of deal, I guess.
A lot less eye tentacles.
Might even say 0.
100% less.
Which for some, that could be a pro or con depending on which way you lean on eye tentacles.
Yeah, I do apologize for any of our listeners who might have a sensitivity to body horror, apparently.
Because it got scary quick.
If you listen to this and think, man, I just want more Ned, then go listen to iCast Fireball, our sister podcast, D&D actual play of the module Tyranny of Dragons. You got Ned, you've got Thomas Brower, who's also in some of our Fate campaigns as the DM. It's a lot of fun, more good old school traditional D&D, but with the usual chaos shenanigans that some of the members of our group provide. We also have our partnership with Fanroll Dice. If you want a new set of beautiful, beautiful dice, you can go there. You can get 10% off using code VROOMFIFI. But yeah, I think that's everything.
Right on. Well, everybody, thanks so much for joining us today in the world of Imp-Tab Avatar, Blades in the Daofei. I'm Ned Wilcock, your host and GM, and I've been joined by...
Thomas Ryan as Weiyong.
Christian Randall as Tonan Yoru.
Evan Peterson as Ciwei Leng.
Much love and stuff, everybody. We'll catch you next time on Imp-Tab Avatar.
Thomas, do you want to know what a finishing school is?
Yeah,
I would like to know. I have no idea.
A finishing school focuses on teaching young women social graces and upper-class cultural rights as a preparation for entry into society.
So I was right on everything except the young woman part. I am a man.
Maybe you went to the all-boys finishing school.
The all-men finishing school of Bossing Say. Men only. Wink.
The sad thing is I'm in Texas, so I got ads for real ones that still exist here in Texas.
Finishing schools still exist?
Texas has young women etiquette academies. If you watch, I think it's the second Borat movie, he goes to one.
Dude, me and Brett...
Oh, yeah, the Butler.
Yeah, we went down a really deep rabbit hole about Butler College once.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
There's a very expensive, very cool Butler College they showed me.
That's where Day went, coincidentally.
Basically.
He's very good.
I was reading through some of their test questions, and there are some insane rules to being a butler. I don't remember all of them, but it's just like how to answer a phone, how to like what the proper response is when like a guest says or does this, and
how to greet each person depending on their social standing.
Don't say a vowel when your master is inhaling.
Yeah, you don't get to Coinworth's position in society without a lot of training.
That's true. He fought in the jungles. You don't mess with that guy.